Good morning. This is Judge Alyssa Perez presiding over the 210th District Court Civil Docket for October 11th, 2023. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all emergency orders and directives, and is also being streamed live via YouTube for public viewing. Mr. Marufo, would you call our first case, please?
In cause number 2021, DCV 3028, Rosa Maria Saucedo de Alonso et al. Versus Fifth Floor Freight LLC et al. Announcement of council, please.
Matt Greenberg for the Alonso family.
Ashley Felt for Vorto Technologies.
Allie Shackle on behalf of Vorto Operations.
Stuart Forbes for Erica Dickerson. What's the last name? Edith Erickson. Got it all messed up. And Daniel Huerta. And I'm sitting in for Susan Forbes, who represents Bertha Yanez.
Randy Ordonez on behalf of F&F Construction, Inc.
Evan Patterson on behalf of J.A. Alonso Trucking.
Lauren Horn on behalf of Jetmar Leasing, Jetmar Logistics Leasing LLC, and all of the other Jetmar entities.
Nick Pena for Claudia Guzman.
Is that everyone? I think I've lost track a little bit. There's a few new faces, I think. But Mr. Greenberg, I recognize you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And you, Mr. Pena, and you, Ms. Horn.
Good morning.
Good morning. My apologies if I've already seen others and I'm not recognizing right now. Let me see. So actually, there's Mr. Snyder. You're muted though.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I, for some reason, couldn't find the Zoom link, but I finally found it, and so here I am.
So you're being fashionably late. Very well. All righty. So actually, this one is starting on page 1 all the way through page 3. I missed that. We were scheduled for a special exception hearing and a motion for continuance. And there are several things, several pleadings that have been filed, I guess, since our last setting. I'm inclined to start first with the motion for continuance, as I understand it was an agreed motion for continuance.
Yes, Your Honor. There's been the statute of limitations recently passed, and ahead of that, there was additional parties added. They've all answered with their own lawyers, so this case continues to expand and grow and bring in new people into the fold. And we have all agreed to try to push this back and let the new parties have time to get in the case and get up to speed.
So I feel like this was one, and this is just not looking back at the history of the hearings and settings. I just want to know if there is an agreement, if everybody has agreed to continue and basically restart, in a sense, this case, what kind of timetable we are looking at.
I think that there's been some emails going back and forth on dates, even as of this morning. I think we've agreed that a September 2024 trial setting was one that worked, I think, for everybody. And then we, after this, would come up with an agreed scheduling order, a new DCO, could submit that to the court.
Everybody's in agreement with that. I feel like September actually works for the court as well, in terms of having, I would like to set you all, especially assuming we get to that date. And then if I could also, maybe it's hard to guess at this point, give me an idea of how long you think that trial will take.
I think it's going to take all of 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Myrna, can you look at the September, and I'll try and get in there as well, September 2024 calendar.
So I'm looking at September 13th.
Okay, let me go there.
And Your Honor, if it helps, Mr. Pena's office kind of took the lead on obtaining trial dates and circulating. And it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, counsel, that September 20th, 2024 is a date that works for all of the parties, if the court still has that available.
That's correct.
We do. I'm a little there's zeros on the calendar in terms of how many cases are scheduled on that date. And so so that's what I'm hearing, the 20th, not the 13th.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're going to set it. That is going to be your trial date. If you all can agree and submit the scheduling order with that trial date in mind and a docket call of September 18th. And just work backward from there. Myrna, I want to make sure we don't set, if we set 5 cases on the following week, that's a lot. I don't want to set anything for trial on the 27th, as much as it might pain me in the event that this doesn't go to trial. Heck, we could use a breather, I'm sure, in September. So let's not set anything for the 27th, Myrna, since that one is zeroed out. And then we'll work back on that final civil pretrial, have a better idea. Let me ask this, is it worth giving you all a backup to that special setting?
I would say yes.
Yeah, okay.
The only
Well-
problem is the first week in October is Rosh Hashanah, and then 10 days later is Yom Kippur.
I actually would, in terms of looking at a backup date, my calendar isn't even loading. I'm thinking more toward November, December, actually. But of course, my calendar is not, it's not loading up anymore.
My only suggestion, Your Honor, if we're looking at an alternate trial date in November, we pick something early in the month to avoid running up against the Thanksgiving holidays.
Sure. Actually, we might go with November 1st. So that'll be our backup.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. Same kind of thing, Myrna, in terms of the trial settings. Although,
Judge, I have a feeling that we may have a few experts in this case.
Mhm.
I would like to have a motions for a Daubert type motions set at least 30 days before trial, if that at all be possible.
so what we'll do is once we absolutely can accommodate that just as we get closer to the trial date, or whenever you want to have it, whenever it's ripe, I guess. Then just submit your request via email to Ms. Hernandez and we will set a hearing. So if you know that at any point, whether it's close to the trial date, 30 days out, 60 days out, whatever it is, just email us with your hearing request and we'll get you set.
Thank you, Judge.
And Your Honor, did you say backup of November 4th?
1st, I believe November 1st is a Friday.
Oh,
And so in terms of, and I know we're far out, but in terms of, can we go with what type of panel, size jury panel? Are you all needing something like 120?
Ooh,
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, I just picked a jury of 120 and I thought that was, I hate to say it, Nick may kill me, but I thought that was too many. I'm going to say, so maybe not quite that much.
So
But-
here's how we are operating now, assuming there's no, COVID resurgence or anything like that restricts our ability to bring in jurors. Is in the courtroom, I can accommodate 60 per panel. And that sometimes is short, right? Sometimes a little short. So then we go for our larger courtrooms, which are the ceremonial court and commissioner's court. And that are just our standard is 120 to go in there. I mean, I can request a larger space and then maybe only ask for, 90 or 100 and utilize that space, but I can only fit 60 in my courtroom. The other option is I get 2 panels in my courtroom and you all do 2 voir dires, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Nobody likes that. I've done it. It's
No.
terrible. So,
I don't think 60 is enough.
right. Do you want to go with 100 so I can make those requests?
Yeah, that would be fine.
I'll request 100 in one of the larger courtrooms. Okay.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Okay.
with the backup setting being November 1, would that make the docket call for that setting October 30?
Correct.
All right.
Correct. And then I don't think we need to include anything in the order, any settings between the trial date and the backup trial date. That'll just be our next date. Anything else we can set? Anything else? All right. If there's nothing else, please circulate the scheduling order with all that good stuff, deadlines, limits, mediator. Please include that as well. I don't recall if you all did that before, but have it back to us within 2 weeks. You'll have an entry of scheduling order hearing. As long as it's returned and signed by all the parties, you all do not need to appear. And we'll cancel out all your other dates. So you'll get a 2-week scheduling order hearing and cancel everything else out. Ooh, that's going to make some room for my criminal cases that wanted to go on your date. Yaha. All right. Well, thank you guys. Anything else?
Thank you.
Judge, we have our special exceptions.
Okay, Mr. Ordonez.
Yes, Judge. On behalf of F&F Construction, I'm here for Ben Kimball.
1 second. It did, going that far down into 2024 just kind of froze my Odyssey. So give me a second. I didn't print this one out. All righty. Got it. Mr. Ordonez, you may proceed.
Okay. Judge, just a brief background. The underlying suit here involves an 18-wheeler motor vehicle collision that occurred back in July of 2021. I believe at least 2 individuals unfortunately lost their lives in this accident. My client F&F Construction was brought into this suit by the Alonso plaintiffs and the Guzman counter plaintiffs on the very last day of the statute of limitations, July 24th, 2023, in their 4th amended petitions, respectively. My client is not an owner of any of the vehicles or an employer of any of the individuals involved, but for naming my client as a defendant, plaintiff's petitions wholly fail to allege any facts or causes of action against my client. Therefore, it does not provide the adequate fair notice standard that pleadings need. And so we would request that the court order plaintiffs to replead their causes of action, their facts against F&F, or dismiss us from the case entirely.
All right. Is that Mr. Forbes and is it Mr. Pena? I'm trying to make sure I have folks. And Mr. Greenberg?
It's Mr. Pena. I have not included them in our pleadings. I was waiting to see what the court did with this special exception.
Okay. Mr. Greenberg, go ahead.
Yes, so ahead of the statute limit, in candor to the court, ahead of the statute of limitations, we reviewed all the discovery from all the parties. F&F was named in a disclosure, not necessarily as the RTP, but their name was in there. So we went ahead and included them to preserve the statute. We've since learned more information about their potential responsibility in causing this crash. I have no problem repleading with the facts that we've learned. The only thing I would ask is, could I get, and I can do that, could I get 45 days to get that done? Because there is some discovery that I would like I can do it now and it will say what it says, or I can do it in 45 days and it will be better with discovery that we could get from F&F.
All right. Well, that would put us.
And Judge, my only thing is this case has been pending for 2 years. They've been investigating this case for, since the day of the accident. More than enough time to allege facts to bring my client in. There has been none alleged.
So I'm going to go ahead and grant that request for the additional 45 days. We will reconvene on your special exceptions, Mr. Ordonez, on November 29th. November 29th at 10 a.m. Alrighty, I think that's right. I tried to do the math. That's right around 45 days.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Aside from that next setting, then the remainder of those settings will be canceled and rescheduled according to the new scheduling order.
All right. Perfect.
Alrighty, anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. You all are
Thank you.
excused. Thank you for your time.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Marufo, who's next?
Second one on page 3, Judge.
Hmm?
In cause number 2019, DCV 2874, Eileen Gaona et al. Versus David Michael Yates, MD et al. Announcement of council, please.
Al Melendez on behalf of the plaintiff, Your Honor.
Morning.
Gary Summer here for Dr. Velimirovich.
Your Honor, Blake Zuber, I'm here for my partner, James Veal. We represent Dr. David Yates.
Okay, we're here for a status conference. Mr. Melendez?
Your Honor, yesterday we had mediation with Judge Villa, and we were able to settle with Dr. V, Dr. Velimirovich, but we weren't able to settle with Dr. Yates.
Okay. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm still having a little trouble here accessing your case. I want to see what we have set. Okay. Okay, so it looks like, well, we have settings that are leading up to a. What's that? That are leading up to a March trial date. So, Mr. Melendez, sorry, I was trying to see who was making all that noise.
I think it was Noel, Judge. He's notorious for interrupting these hearings. He looks innocent, but I'm not so. Well.
So, I mean, we have our next hearing in January, Mr. Melendez. I think you had the trial setting with the case that preceded. So, we have a trial date.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then we just go forward with our next setting. Thank you for the update on the mediation. If there's any, you all did it well ahead of the deadline. So, if there's any chance to go again, please do so before the final civil pretrial. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
So much.
All right.
Thank you.
Who's next?
Bottom of page 3, Judge. In cause number 2023 DCV 3018, State Farm Mutual Automobile Insurance Company et al. Versus Hennessy Araujo. Announcement of council, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Warner on behalf of plaintiff State Farm.
Okay, and this one, I'm Mr. Warner, I need to look in my email, which as the computer is running right now, might take forever. So if I requested, let me see. I bet I requested this set for hearing. Let me just double check your request on the affidavit on the subservice. Oh, right. Okay. So this individual, tell me a little bit about what they discovered. They spoke with an uncle at this location, or what was it?
Yes, Your Honor. According to the affidavit, they did speak to an uncle who indicated that the defendant resided at that address but was unavailable. Then subsequent attempts were made at the same address. No service was perfected. But then there was contact made with presumably with the defendant, and that's I see that she indicated she moved to Arizona. But I don't have an address. I don't know if the server didn't ask or if she didn't provide. I'm not sure the details on that. Either way, there's no address for Arizona. According to the affidavit provided by the server in the checks he did, the address comes back to this La Sabre address. being for the defendant, including as recent as a registration of the vehicle on August the 2nd of 2023. I also have my paralegal run some searches as well. We're not finding any Arizona address, Your Honor, at this point. It's all coming back to this Sabre address.
I mean, I'm just curious why we didn't get any details from Miss, is it a female, Araujo? Miss Araujo? You know, if there was contact there. For now, I'm going to deny the request. See what you can further get from maybe your process server. And if there are a few more efforts and we don't get some clarity there, feel free to resubmit your request on the subservice. Okay, I'm going to reset this for 30-day status.
Certainly, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Warner.
May I be excused?
You may.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Who's next?
Top of page 4, Judge.
Okay.
In cause number 2016 DCV 3399, Gloria Dominguez et al. Versus Oscar R. Quesada, MD et al. Announcement of council, please.
Sorry, Judge. Al Melendez on behalf of the plaintiff, Your Honor.
Noel Gaddis for Dr. Quesada. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. We're here for our friendly suit, I believe. Oh, we lost did we just lose our ad litem?
Mr. Velarde just.
All right.